Iran versus Israel. There is an imminent war that is going to come up between Iran and Israel. Last week, Israel targeted Iran Consulate in Syria, and you and I know that a consulate or an embassy of a nation is sovereign. It's also bound by international law and protected by international law. So according to international law, an attack of someone's embassy is an attack on the country itself. And you can only attack an embassy or consulate if that nation has officially been declared as a terrorist nation. In this case, Iran has not been declared by the United Nations as a terrorist state, and thus their consulate and their embassy are not target for any potential attack. Any attack of that will warrant what is known as a territorial attack of Iran's sovereignty. So Israel attacked Iran. I'll play this video so that I can see what is brewing between Iran and Israel. So Israel attacked Iran and consulate in Syria. Iran has threatened, not threatened, Iran has promised to retaliate. And now Israel and America are warning Iran not to retaliate. But you and I know that if Iran had targeted any consulate of America, it would have been a declaration of war. What we are saying is that international law must be respected. Israel had no right, no legitimacy to attack Iran's consulate. If they felt or they thought or they think that whoever was in that consulate support terrorism, they would have done the same thing that Trump did, take out the person away from the consulate, as Trump took out Qasem Soleimani in Iraq. I want you to watch this video.
A war between Iran and Israel is imminent. So says the US intelligence. A report has warned that an attack on Israeli infrastructure by Iran or its proxies is imminent. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said Israel will strike whoever tries to harm it. Earlier today, he also said that his government is preparing to meet the security needs of Israel, both in defense and attack. The global oil market is already preparing for the worst. Brent crude has spiked more than 1% to trade above $90 a barrel. German airline Lufthansa has suspended flights to Tehran. Russia has warned its citizens to refrain from traveling to Israel. The US Central Command Chief, Michael Kurilla, landed in Israel today to hold emergency talks with the Israeli Defense Minister, Yoav Gallant. The US Middle East envoy has called on foreign ministers of Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Qatar and Iraq to talk to Iran and to try and lower tensions in the region. It is the 11th of April 2024. It's the day after Eid in West Asia and the region is on high alert. The prevailing sense is that Iran may attack Israel any moment now. Israel has already been scrambling navigational signals over Tel Aviv. It also temporarily jammed GPS signals over Tel Aviv. The big question here is, 6 months into the Gaza war, is the world staring at a full-blown Iran-Israel war? And is the next West Asia war imminent? That's the question. The US has already made clear which side it will be fighting on. On Wednesday, the US President Joe Biden said, let me say it again, ironclad. We are going to do all we can to protect Israel's security. In short, the US is definitely getting dragged into this war whose build-up is too visible to ignore. Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, has vowed to punish Iran. Here's his post on the platform X. Let me just read it out for you. When the Zionist regime attacks an Iranian consulate in Syria, it is as if it has attacked Iranian soil. That malicious regime has made a wrong move. It should be punished, and it will be punished. That attack was the trigger. That attack was what many experts termed as the turning point in the war. We will recap that in a bit. You see, in the last few days, we have seen reports detailing all possible scenarios. What kind of attack are we looking at? Iran's Joint Chief of Staff, Mohammad Bagheri, has said, and I'm quoting here, the time, type, plan of the operation will be decided in a way that makes Israel regret what it did. What will be Iran's target? Yahya Rahim Safavi, who is one of the senior advisors to Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, said, and I'm quoting again, "The embassies of the Zionist regime are no longer safe." And as I speak, Israel has temporarily closed down 28 Israeli embassies and consulates. Will it be a missile strike? Iran's news agency ISNA was recently seen showing off Iran's firepower. It laid out an infographic detailing the range and speed of Iranian missiles. We told you about this. Iran and Israel are around 1.7 thousand kilometers away. Between them are Iraq and Jordan. Will Iran, in the heart of Israel, using high-precision missiles, hit it? What happens if an Israeli city is targeted? In fact, according to reports, Israel recently scrambled navigational signals over Tel Aviv in preparation for a potential attack. GPS signals were jammed. Drivers of radio taxis found their navigation systems going off, or haywire, many commuters could not make payments for the cashless public transport system. The IDF spokesperson later said, "We are aware that these disruptions cause inconveniences, but it is a vital and necessary tool in our defense capabilities." In the Gaza war, the mood has been offensive. Sure, there were rockets being fired towards Israel, but never before did Israel feel it was necessary to jam the GPS of its startup city. The city also has offices of multinational companies, also the headquarters of the Israeli military. Is Israel preparing for an attack on Tel Aviv? Speaking at an F-15 base earlier today, Netanyahu said Israel will strike anyone who tries to harm it.
I said we are in challenging times. We are in the midst of the war in Gaza, which continues in full force. At the same time, we continue our unceasing efforts to return our hostages. But we are also preparing for scenarios of challenges in other arenas. And we establish a simple principle. Whoever hurts us, we hurt him. We are preparing to meet the security needs of the state of Israel, both in defense and in attack. And the people of Israel trust you. And may we all have great success.
In fact, earlier this week, Israel's defense minister, Yoav Gallant, said that Israel is ready for, quote-unquote, any situation that may develop vis-a-vis Iran. The IDF has paused leave for combat units. It has withdrawn troops from southern Gaza. Is it possible preparation for a new front with Iran? How would Israel react if Iran were to strike the country? Israel is reportedly already preparing to target Iran's nuclear facilities and other key infrastructure. Air drills are already being conducted. But would Iran really attack Israel is the question. I know there is that US intel warning, but while it says that an attack is imminent, it also mentions how it could either be an Iranian attack or an attack by Iranian proxies. You see, Iran-backed Hezbollah has been trading fire with Israel since the start of the war in Gaza. The Houthis have waged another war at sea. They have been targeting commercial ships in a display of support for Hamas. The Houthis have also been attacking American and British warships. Could the Houthis or the Hezbollah be the ones firing that imminent missile towards Israel? Experts say it is no longer a question of if such an attack would take place, it's a question of when. And from where I am sitting, all the developments tend to hint that an escalation will arrive sooner than later. And let's just recap what led to this moment. On the 1st of April, there was a drone attack on the Iranian consulate in Damascus. 11 people were killed. Among them was General Mohammad Reza Zahedi. He managed the Quds force in Syria and Lebanon. General Zahedi was the highest-ranking Iranian military official to be killed since General Qasem Soleimani, who was assassinated in Baghdad by the US in the year 2020. And what about General Zahedi? Who killed him? Syria and Iran are pointing at Israel. Israel, on its part, has neither publicly acknowledged nor denied its role in the drone attack. Iran has made up its mind. Tehran will not be sitting still. Iran's ambassador to Syria has said that his country's response to the strike would be, quote-unquote, at the same magnitude and harshness. Long story short, are we staring at an imminent war? Is this